Okay, well, welcome to our Executive Function Tools and Supports webinar. This is the maiden voyage of this topic in this webinar. I'm really excited to present it today to you. I'm Laura Martinez. I'm the Assistive Technology Program Manager at TASC.
Good morning. I'm Elizabeth Ortega, Assistive Technology Coordinator at TASC. Welcome. TASC is a nonprofit. We serve 6 counties in Southern California. We are a parent training and information center and a family empowerment center. We educate and empower people with disabilities and their families to become effective communicators and self-advocates. Our disclaimer is that TASC staff are not advocates or attorneys. We do not provide recommendations, legal advice, or suggestions. Our family support specialists offer peer-to-peer support, information, and options to parents of children with disabilities so they can become informed members of the IEP team and work collaboratively with schools. Our family support specialists help families understand the special education process by providing one-on-one phone consultations, virtual IEP consultations, and review all documentation. They also help with letter writing, and they offer a variety of educational webinars, support for military families, information, and resources. Within our tech center, we offer a variety of assistive technology webinars, individualized online lab appointments via Zoom. If you're looking for specific apps, websites, or extensions, Google extensions, we can show you the apps that we have, let you know of the websites or any extensions that we know of in the specific areas you're looking for. Also, feel free to email either Laura or myself, and we can send you resources in case you cannot schedule a lab appointment. We offer AT consultations in clinics. For our AAC services, AAC is Augmentative and Alternative Communication. We have Project Communicate, in which we offer a free 1-hour AAC consultation with a speech-language pathologist, which her focus is AAC. If you would like more information on the free 1-hour consultation, you can contact me and you'll have my email address in a few minutes. Let's Talk AAC is our professional development webinar series. It was a webinar series of 4 webinars, and they are available on our YouTube channel. Tech Connection is our online social and life skill group for ages 14 and above. If you would like more information on our Tech Connection, you can contact Laura. For Tech Connection, we meet the 3rd Wednesday of the month via Zoom at 4 p.m. And we have a lot of information and resources in assistive technology. Tech Tidbits is our assistive technology focused e-newsletter. If you're not receiving it and would like to receive it, visit the website on the slide, plug in your name, email address, and you will start receiving it the following month. And before we begin, the links given are for the vendor's website, or they will lead you directly to the App Store to download apps. The prices are subject to change by vendor. Prices can change from morning to afternoon. All the apps that Laura is going to present to you today are for iDevices, which is iPad, iPhone. If they are available on another platform, it will be indicated on the slide. I will email you a copy of the presentation after the webinar to the email address you used to register to today's webinar. And once again, if you're looking for specific assistive technology for your child or clients, feel free to email Laura or myself, and these are our email addresses.
I was on mute. Okay, let's get going. So what are executive functions? Well, there are many things, but basically they're the self-regulating skills that we all use to accomplish tasks. And it can be anything from getting dressed to doing homework. And under executive functions, it can include things like paying attention, organizing, planning, prioritizing, starting, staying focused, and completing tasks. It can be understanding different points of view, regulating your emotions, and then self-monitoring. So keeping track of what you're doing. And we're going to go through, I think almost all of these today and give you some tools and resources. So I have a quick video.
Executive function. What is it? Executive function describes the part of the mind that helps you be organized. Think of it as where, when, and how. Where things are, or where they belong. When things are due, or when something is happening. How to do things, and how to get started. Difficulty with executive function has a greater impact as children get older and are increasingly expected to work independently. What are the difficulties? Losing and mislaying things. Having a chaotic, messy bedroom and school bag. Organizing, planning and prioritizing. Disorganized folders and papers. Identifying what needs to be done. Getting a sequence of actions mixed up. Not allowing enough time and often being late. Not completing a task before moving on to another. Not remembering when homework is due. Forgetting what the teacher told them to do. Helpful strategies. Set routines to create habits. Establish set places to keep things. A phone can be helpful to take photographs of homework or things you need to remember. But where a child is not old enough to have a phone, use calendars and planners. Executive function.
Okay. All right, so just a quick video to go over executive function. So, when I imagine executive functioning skills, I kind of think of this, okay, where do I start? What do I do? I found this great website I wanted to share with you, and you'll see some infographics along the way. It's called The Pathway to Success, and I do have it listed in our resources towards the end. But they have some great tips, and they have a toolkit, which I'll talk about later, that you can download for free that helps. That's executive function toolkit. So just some supports and ideas. We're going to go through most of this today, but things like having their homework written down in the same spot every day, so they know where to look, so you know where to look. This doesn't happen a lot, and it needs to, but you need to explicitly teach executive functioning and study skills. It doesn't come naturally for everyone. Give an extra 3 to 5 minutes to organize before transitions. And we're going to show you some timers and different things that can be helpful. Routines. A weekly organization time. I know this helped a lot with my daughter, where we sat and went through her notebook, especially in high school, trying to get everything organized, cleaning out the backpack with just crumbled papers and trash and different things like that, and trying to get organized for the week. We're going to talk about a lot of these other things, countdown timers and homework binders and things like that. So we're going to start with time management strategies, and we'll get into this in more detail, but so managing your time sometimes is tough, and you don't know it gets away from you and it's tough to keep track of everything. So calendars, visual schedules, and those can be monthly, weekly, daily, or even by task. And I'll show you a few. Using planners and task management apps can be really helpful for certain folks. Alarms and timers, the ones that are built into your phone or your iPad or tablet, there are also separate apps. There are Google Chrome extensions, and then we're going to show you some handheld items. And then we'll show you some reminder / organization type apps. So we'll start with light tech here. So calendars or visual schedules can be super helpful. It can give you, excuse me, a visual reminder or kind of notice of what's coming up. So a monthly calendar for some people and see what's coming, plan it out, go from there. This is an example of a weekly calendar that can change. So you would put Velcro or magnets on it, and you can put, hey, this is what's coming up on each day. This is a very quick kind of daily schedule, what's going to happen. It could be just even in a short period of time. I love this one. This is from school, obviously, and I do have resources for you on all this stuff, but you know, a daily schedule, and you can take out, you know, when you're done, you can take it out and turn it over. You can change it depending on the day. And then a first then schedule can be really helpful. Okay, we're going to do this first, and then we can do this. So visual schedules and supports, there are so many apps out there. I have just listed a few of each type of app when we get to each subject, but I want you to know that visuals can really, really help with independence and reducing that anxiety, so you know what comes next. And then visual supports can be helpful not only in school, but for vocational purposes, self-care, even leisure activities. So again, low tech, we have those calendars, planners, daily schedules, the first then, and then step-by-step supports. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat. So I've listed 4 here. And again, you'll get these on your handouts, and they all have live links, either directly to the App Store or to the vendor's website, depending. I'm going to show you 2. I'm going to start with ChoiceWorks. And what I like about ChoiceWorks is it's a specific visual schedule that you can set up on your own, and it's super easy to create them, to edit them, and to add what you want. So they have different sections. They have schedules, they have waiting, which I'll show you. So we need to learn that wait time, feelings and things you can do, and then also a feeling scale. So here's a sample school schedule that I created. And if I press the arrow here.
My schedule. First I need to math, reading, break, class, eat lunch, music, get on bus, go home, then I can have a snack or my choice.
So what I like about this is you can put in timers for each thing. So I have math, I can start math class and set my timer if I benefit from something like that. And when it gets to maybe 5 minutes, or 3 minutes, I can start prepping. Okay, I know what's coming next. I need to do reading next. So you can switch your supplies out, take a little break, do what you need to do. Once you're done with whatever the
Math.
activity is, you drag it over.
All done.
And then the next one pops up. So,
Reading. All done.
so break time, I can turn on that timer for 10 minutes.
Break. All done.
So once you pull them all over, after you go
Class.
home,
All done. All done. Music.
kind of all done.
All
really quick.
done. Get on bus. All done. Go home. All done.
So then once we're home, we can either have a
Have
snack
a snack. My choice.
or do something you want. So you can break these down, just to show you, I have a nighttime schedule. When it comes to brushing
Brush
teeth,
teeth.
you can put in a timer if you want to, make sure they brush their teeth for however long you want them to. There's a waiting schedule. So we're waiting for 5 minutes. And during that 5 minutes, you can have 2 activities that they can choose from. There are also videos that you can insert.
Waiting.
They have a feelings board, so you can put in any feeling that you want. So when I'm upset, I can get help or take a break. After that, I can do this or that. And you can put in whatever you want or how you want. They just added this feeling scale, which I love. You can put in, excuse me, you can put in any feelings you want. They're really easy to edit.
Happy.
So I have happy. If I'm happy, I can do these things.
Frustrated.
When I'm frustrated, I can take a deep breath or take a break. When I'm angry, I can count to 5.
Count to 5.
Or
Get
I
help.
can get help. Anyway, this app has tons of things that you can customize. There are companion books that you can turn on that come with a lot of the feelings or the wait time, everyday things that you have to do. So this is ChoiceWorks. The next one is called Visual Planner. And I like this one because you can set your schedule and it can be different every day. So at the bottom, I have the day tab up. And this shows what I need to do today. I can also pull the week tab up if I want to see what my week looks like. And also the month. So anything with the star means there's an activity on there. So today I woke up, ate breakfast, brushed my teeth, got dressed. You know, I just put work, but it could be anything, school, whatever it is. Most evenings I have eat dinner, but for tonight I have cook dinner. And I added in a visual schedule for making spaghetti. So you can import your own pictures, which I did from the internet. Very simple when you're creating it. So I just did a checklist. What I should have done is added a timer for boiling the water, but I didn't think about it at the time. So once you're done checking off your list, you can go in and finish the rest of your day. This is the view it comes up in, but you can also do a list view if you prefer that. And there are lots and lots of things that you can add there. You can add videos, sounds, images, notes for each day. And I just wanted to show you there's a lot of different things you can put in. And then you can also print out your calendar for the day if that's something that you want to do and have a physical calendar. I included a list of free visuals because especially sometimes you want a physical copy or, you know, a hard copy of something. All of these sites have access to different things that you can download. I did want to point out the first one, Connectability Canada. They have a great visuals engine. Easy for me to say. And you can create visual support. So we talked about a first then schedule. I'm in the interest of time, I'm not going to do it, but I just want to show you. I could pick that template and I can just go in and add pictures. So you can find pictures, you can add your own, you can put in what you want. You know, first I could type in read, and then after that we could have a snack. And then you can save it as a PDF or print it depending on what you want. So that's Connectability Canada. And we have a lot of material to cover. I just love resources. So again, if you want specifics for your child, please feel free to email us or make an appointment for a lab appointment, and we can demonstrate specific things for you. So using timers, using timers is a great way to break up work time or things that you need to do. And I'll show you a couple of timers that use the Pomodoro technique. If you're not familiar, I'll explain it in a moment. But you know, you could set your timer for an hour or 20 minutes or 25 minutes, and then take a 5 or 10 minute break. Just brain breaks. We're going to talk about that a lot. And then remind yourself to get back to work. So there are different timers, of course. I have the example of a time timer, and I'll show you the app as well, which is a visual representation of time. So you actually see the time tick down. The time tracker here, this one happens to be magnetic, but they also have just a physical one, and that's kind of a stoplight method. So we're going, we're winding up, and we're going to stop. And then, of course, digital timers or kitchen timers you can get at Target, Walmart, Amazon. I personally use on my phone, I set timers or alarms every night before I go to bed for all my meetings and all the things I have to do. I set them for 5 minutes or 10 minutes before if I need to prep. All smartphones, all tablets have those built-in timers available. Okay. So here are some different timer apps and also Google Chrome extensions, depending on what you use. So I did list, like Liz said, whether it's an iOS app, whether it's available on Google or, you know, whatever platform it's available on. The first one I'm going to show you is the 360 Thinking Time Tracker. And it is an iOS app, but they also have a Google Chrome extension that you can use, which I find to be very helpful. But the multi-timer has multiple timers that you can set for different things. The Time's Up visual timer is for younger kids. You can set up where the timer reveals a picture, different things like that. I'm going to show you the time timer app, and then the visual countdown timer is also more of a children's app. And then I included for you some other Chrome extensions, if you're a Chrome extension person, that you might want to try by going to the Google Chrome, the App Store. So the 360 Thinking timer is really neat. You can go in and you can choose what your slices, which I'll show you, can be. So you can, this hat starts with yellow. So that's your getting ready. And then there's get ready, there's start, there's a midpoint goal, and there's an end. And you can set those slices. You can set the times. So the default is 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, but you could make the middle duration longer if you wanted. You can change it to what you want. So here's what it looks like. And you can set each section for what you want it to be. And when it starts going, it just starts ticking down. You can hide it and it'll keep going. But as it ticks down, like the yellow starts to fade into a lighter yellow. And then when it gets to the green, I don't know if you saw the clock just move, but it fades into a lighter yellow. When it gets to the green, you can set it up to ding or do whatever you want. So, hey, let's start what we're working on. And then you'll get another notification if you want at the midpoint. And then you can just have it in the background. That's why I like the Google Chrome extension, because I'm on the computer all day. But this is the 360 thinking timer. I'm just going to quickly show you the time timer. So these, they have physical timer, the watch, and then the app. And you can set however long you want your timer to be. And that's that visual representation of time. You can go in, set whether you want it to vibrate, whether you want it to make an audible noise, and you can choose the noise. And then you can also go in and choose I mean, you can set it for a long time. You can. So I'll just do 1 minute. You can also change the color of the timer. So my 1 minute's probably not going to show very much, but you do get a countdown, and then you also get that visual representation of time. So that's the time timer. And again, you can just put that in the background and it will go off when it's ready. So wearable time and focus reminders. So there's a lot of different things out there. I have listed just some that we have used or that I know have been successful with people. Of course, the Apple Watch. You can set different timers, different reminders. You know, take your medications, pay attention. Your next class is in 5 minutes, whatever it is that you want. This is kind of a neat one. This is called the Octopus Watch, and it's for younger children, and it connects to an app, and you can set on the app different tasks or things that you want your child to do. So like this one comes up at 7:30 and says it has icons. So brush your teeth. So they don't have to be a reader. They don't have to, you know, it's really made for younger children, but they have everything from, you know, time for breakfast. Don't forget to do this. And then you can program in your own, which is really cool. The Revibe looks like this. It's a watch, but you can set it to vibrate every so often to keep attention or focus, or you can also set it at specific times. Sorry, the time timer watch is basically, I showed you the app, but it's that visual representation of time, but then you can also switch it to regular watch mode as well. You can go back and forth. The Watchminder has been around for a long time. And the idea is there's all different ones, you know, visually different kind, but you again can set it to say to vibrate or beep, to pay attention, to take your meds, to take your break, warning, whatever it is you need it to do. And then Wobble is another one I found that's for younger kids, kind of like the Octopus Watch, and it has different vibrations and alarms that you can set for different things for kiddos. Okay, next is planning. So here's another great infographic from our friends. So we're going to talk about a lot of these things, but planning is super important, especially for someone Somebody is asking what I would recommend. We don't do recommendations. We just kind of show you. And then you have to determine that. If you want to set a lab appointment or email us and I can get more information, I can kind of give you a couple of things that you can look at. Sure, no problem. That's why we're here. So again, planning is a big thing. A lot of people struggle with planning. So we're going to show you some graphic organizers. We've talked about, you're going to see some planners, some homework apps, which, boy, would have been really useful for my daughter, and different things that you can, checklists, reminder sheets, an end of the day reminder sheet. Did we do all these things? Oh gosh, I better get this done, type of a thing. A list of completed assignments, a list of missing assignments. So there are all kinds of planner or task management apps. I listed 4 here, but of course there are tons. And I'm going to show you 2. The first one I'm going to show you is called My Homework Student Planner. And what I like about this one is you can do it on your computer, on your iPad, on your Android device. There's a Google Chrome extension and you can connect across. There's a free version and then an upgraded version that's $4.99 for a year. And then the next one is called My Study Life School Planner, and that one's free. So first, My Homework Student Planner. So when you open this app, you can set it how you want, but you can set it up by month, day, week. So I can do, these are all my classes. So you go in, there's a lot of front end setup. So I went in and put in all my classes, all our classes, Monday through Friday, and put all the times in. But you only have to set that up once, you know, for the semester, for the year. Then you can go in and search. So here is everything that I have on my calendar that's coming up. Uh-oh, I have a test today. So if it's completed, I can check that off. And it scratches it off. So I can do today, I can do tomorrow, I can go by class. I don't have any homework in here. Well, so, oh, I do. I have essay due. It tells if you have late homework, which is helpful, what's completed and what's coming up. It also has a neat feature. I don't have it set up, obviously, because I don't have a teacher, but if teachers or schools are using this app, you can connect with your teacher and they can send you notes, they can send you updates to things that are due, things like that. And then I just wanted to show you, there's a lot of settings, things that you can change. You can set it up for a block schedule, for a regular schedule. How many periods in a day, start with 0 period, just all kinds of things that you can add. You can even set a snooze timer if you have like homework enabled, lots of things that you can do. So, oh, and there are different themes. You can go in and set different colors and things. So that's my homework. Oh, I think I took out the My Study Life. Here we go. So My Study Life is another planning app, but it's just a much simpler interface, less bells and whistles, I would say. So you have a dashboard and a calendar. So this is telling me what I have for today. I've got a timer here saying you have 33 minutes until till math. I have tasks due. I have a chemistry assignment due. Oops, and I've done 0%. And lab notes due. So you do get a kind of dashboard of what's going on. And then you can do it in calendar format if you like it better that way. It does give you what exams you have coming up, and then not a whole lot of things that you can change, but you can add reminders for tasks, exams, and classes. And this one's free. So next is project initiation and completion. And there are a bunch of obviously apps and things for this, but I'm going to actually show you two. But the other two, Flipped is available on iOS and Android. There's a free version, and then there's a monthly and yearly fee for their pro version. I'm going to show you Goal Plan Do, and it's absolutely free. And then Toodle Do, which is also free. And then Workflowy is nice because it's available on all platforms. And basically Workflowy to me is like an outline. So I'm going to show you Goal Plan Do and Toodle Do. So I really like Goal Plan Do because it's very simple. You can create a new project or use an existing project. I put one in there or a couple in there. So when you set it up, you basically, what's your goal? And then you're going to plan all the things that you want to do. And you just go in and just hit add, and you can write anything you want. When you go on to do, that's where you can check things off. Just touch them and you can check them off. And it tells when you did those things. When you're done with all of it, you go to review, and then it asks you what were the good points, what were obstacles and challenges, and next time what you would do differently. And then you can do a PDF report, and it will print out if you want it on a hard copy. So really simple, that's Goal Plan Do, but I think it's really helpful if you need those steps in there. And again, that one is free. Toodle Do. So this one is kind of deceiving. I thought, oh, it's just a checklist, but it's not. So, I mean, it is, but there's so much more to it. So you can create a checklist of anything you want, and you can set it up. Is it a top priority? Is it high, medium, low, or negative priority? You can put in a due date. Whoops, fat fingers. A due date. You can create folders and subfolders. And look at your recents. You can do searches. And as you do things, you can just check them off, of course. Now at the bottom, I don't know if you can see, so we're on tasks, but there's also a notes section, so you can attach notes to each list or in folders if you want to expand on what you need to do. There's an outline feature in here, which I really love. You can create your own blank outline, but I'm going to show you one of the suggested examples just because I think it's funny. but I'm gonna do build a time machine. So here's our checklist. So the first thing we need to do is find a DeLorean. So where are we gonna do that? We're gonna check eBay and check Craigslist. Doubt we're gonna find it. Then we're gonna build a fusion reactor. Where are we gonna get plutonium? Gonna look up that stuff. And then build a flux capacitor. So as you go through, you check off your lists. Or you can expand and add things as you go. You can also collapse items as they finish, so you know what's just what's actually due. They also have lists. You can create your own blank list, but they have some built-in things that you might want to do. You can keep an address book, a grocery list, recipes, weight tracking, anything that you might want to do, or again, you can just add your own. There's a habit tracker. So we need to, so I have on here floss and weight. So maybe I want to weigh every day and check off whether I flossed each day. And then it'll show you, uh-oh, this needs improvement. You didn't put, whatever it is. And then there are all kinds of settings that you can set up. So that's project initiation and completion. Somebody said not only great for my son, but some of those apps will be helpful for me too as a mom. I completely agree. I'm like downloading them on my phone as we go. Yes, Toodle-Do you can use on a phone, absolutely. So reminder and organization apps. I just put a couple down here, but also, if you use Google Keep is a place you can use it. And then iOS and Google both have reminder features that are built in. And I included links to both of those if you're interested in those. I'm going to show you a to-do list called Remember the Milk. And it's a simple to-do list. But what's nice is you can set up. So there's my inbox. Here's all my tasks that are coming up. What do I have today? Oh, I have a report due and it was yesterday. Shoot. So you can put in different things. You can break your list down, personal, study, or work. You can also add different lists if you like. Smart lists. You can put in contacts, you can put in different things. And as you do them, you can check them off or delete them or postpone them if you need to. So just a simple little app called Remember the Milk. Okay, these are great, especially if you have a kiddo in high school or in college. These are online assignment calculators and they're free. All four of these are great. I'm going to show you the bottom one from the University of Minnesota. So planning and breaking down tasks is so tough sometimes, especially when you have a large project. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this website. And this is free. You don't have to join anything. You don't have to go to the University of Minnesota. But so you can put what you have. So if I have a research paper due, and I'm starting it today, or you can put whatever day you want. And when is it due? Calendar. Let's make it due on the 30th. And then I'm going to calculate. So now it's going to say, okay, by tomorrow, you need to understand the topic, understand the assignment, and select a topic. And then it goes through, and all of these blue items are hot links to other places that'll help you with that specific thing. You can add the step to your Google Calendar. You can link them to your Google Calendar. Okay, then we're going to draft our thesis or research question. Find and evaluate resources. So basically it goes through and tells you everything you need to do. For that paper. So really super helpful depending on what you're doing. There's 4 different ones I put on there, but super, super helpful. Okay, maintaining attention and focus. So this is a big one for all different ages, for parents, professionals, kiddos, you name it. Sometimes it's just really hard to maintain your attention and focus. So a couple of tools we're going to go over, some fidgets, which we'll talk about. Alternative and flexible seating can be super helpful. Sometimes it's just so hard to sit in a desk or in a seat for hours and hours on end. You know, I do it every day, but I got to get up and walk around. I got to move. I have different cushions, but there are some things I put in live links for you, but there are some things that help. Balance cushions. So these were originally created for exercise, but you pump them up with a bicycle pump. You can put them under, put them on your seat and sit on them. And I don't know if you can see, they have bumpy textures. So you get that sensory feedback. Ball chairs, these are great for working on core. They're chairs, you can sit on them, but you can also get some movement in. These are a new item I found. They're called wiggle wobble chair feet, and they turn a regular school chair into a wobble chair that can move. And then of course, wobble stools. I just put a link to an Amazon site, but those are great because you can move around if you need to. For attention and focus, we talked about timers. There are Chrome extensions and applications. We're going to talk about some of those. And then just other things. Sometimes you just need to stand up and walk around or just move. Doodle, chew gum, and then taking brain breaks, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So fidgets, we have tons of fidgets at Task, and I have tons of fidgets on my desk, if I'm being honest. And these are great to be able to touch, to move, to feel different textures. We have click fidgets here. This is called a fidget pod. It just goes on your desk and it's just got nice texture. Tangle toys, of course, fidget spinners, koosh balls. This is called a desk buddy. It looks like a ruler, but it's just got different textures. These pencils, fidget pencils, you put this right on the end of a pencil and you just have something you can move. Fidget rings, you put them on and they move. And then I put some resources for you where you can get these types of things or look at different types of things. So here are some tools for focus and attention. There is, if you have an iOS device, there is a focus feature built in. So I included the link to that. I use myself a Chrome extension called Take a Break, and it's by iCare Plus. And basically mine is set off to go every hour, and it just pops up and it tells me, go get a drink of water. stand up and walk around, do some breathing exercises. You can snooze it if you're busy and you can't do it, or you can choose to do it or choose not to, but those are really helpful. I also use, Liz and I both use an app called Tab Snooze. And if you're on the computer and you have a bunch of tabs open and you're trying to focus on something, and you found something really cool and you want to investigate it, so that you don't go down that rabbit hole and get off of what you're you're trying to focus on, you just hit snooze, and you can snooze it for 4 hours till the next day, the next week, or whenever. There's like a random one. So I use that one a lot, and you can find that in the Google Chrome App Store. I have 4 listed here. Obviously, there are way more than that. I'm going to show you 2. I'm going to show you the focus matrix and also the focus keeper. I was pressing and nothing was happening. So this is based on the Eisenhower box method. I don't know if you've heard of that, but what it does is it takes things and it puts them in 4 different, it compartmentalizes it into 4 different categories. So there's important and urgent, important but not urgent, not important but urgent, which I think is funny, and then not important and not urgent. And then you can put daily tasks in as well that come in your inbox. And what I like about this is, so I have under here, not important but urgent. Well, now I really do need to move my group project meeting under important and urgent. So I just held down and dragged into it. You can also, when you're done with something, you just slide over and hit delete, and it can go away, take it off of your table. There are all different settings that you can do. You can do searches, you can do filters, you can tag things. And that hides your inbox. Your inbox is like your daily task. Sorry. I love that you can export it to a PDF so you can have a physical version of what you need to do. And then you can set up alarms, or I love this, important and urgent. I can move to urgent 1 day before, or whichever ones you want to do, you can choose. You can choose and set it so it's going to automatically move over, like, oh gosh, I only have a day, so that becomes more urgent. But if you like this method, I think this is a great app. This is called the Focus Matrix, and the icon looks like this. And when you get your handouts, I have put the icons on each next to each app, because sometimes it's hard to find them, or you're not sure if you have the right one. The next one is called the Focus Keeper. And this works on the Pomodoro technique, which you work 25 minutes and then you take a break, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, depending on what you want. And then you set it again for another 25 minutes. And so you can set it for every day. You can set it for, I have the limited version. You can upgrade for the pro version. So my focus sessions are 25 minutes. I've set my short break as 5 minutes. And then you can set your long, if you have the free version, your long break is 25 minutes. If you get the upgraded version, you can change that. My focus, sorry, it won't close. My sessions per round, I have 4. So I have 4 25-minute blocks. You can have it tick or not tick, depending on if it bothers you. And then you can have different alarm sounds. And so When it starts, you just have a clock. And I do this on my iPad a lot, especially when I'm working on something that needs to be done, but I don't particularly want to do it. Um, reports, things like that. And I just set it to the side, and when it goes off, I take either a brain break, or I make sure to rest my eyes, look away, do something else just for a few minutes, and then you can restart that again. This tells my results. And then again, you can have multiple ones going. And then when it's time, the alarm will go off. I'm going to pause it so it doesn't. And that's the focus keeper. So self-control versus self-regulation, I really feel like this is an important area. So of course, self-control is part of executive function, but kids develop these skills over time. So it takes time, and it does take a development of that skill. So the 3 types of self-control include impulse, emotional, and movement control. In contrast, self-regulation is the ability to control your behavior, your emotions and thoughts in the pursuit of those long-term goals. But more specifically, emotional self-regulation refers to the ability to manage disruptive emotions and impulses. In other words, to think before acting. And I have a quick video.
Successful people have strong self-regulation skills. They use them every day. The skills help them consciously direct, sustain, and shift their attention when necessary. They help them monitor and manage their thoughts, behavior, and emotions in this complicated world of ours. 3 of the self-regulation skills, known as executive function skills, are cognitive. These are used to monitor and manage attention, thoughts, and behavior. A 4th self-regulation skill is the ability to monitor and manage emotions. These skills are not inborn, but they are teachable, and we depend on them every day, especially when the going gets rough. Just like adults, when students are upset or angry, it's hard for them to use their executive function skills because their strong emotions take over. This can also make it difficult for them to listen, remember rules, and stay focused on learning. So, learning to monitor and manage emotions allows students to recognize their strong feelings and use strategies to calm down. Then, they can use their executive function skills again. And research shows students with strong self-regulation skills have higher academic achievement and are less likely to act in impulsive or aggressive ways, or to withdraw when overwhelmed. They're also more likely to get along well with others and have strong social skills. Students with poor self-regulation skills can have emotional and behavioral problems and academic trouble, and are more likely to be expelled from school, starting as early as preschool. When students learn and practice self-regulation skills, they can build academic achievement, social competence, and positive growth throughout their lives.
Okay. So here's another infographic from our friends at the Pathway to Success. So here are 12 ways to help build self-regulation. We're going to talk about a lot of these things. Brain breaks between tasks, a daily emotion check-in. I'm going to show you some apps and websites for that. Practicing coping techniques, practicing that wait time. That is a skill that needs to be developed. Sometimes we need to have a calm down area. There are games, breathing techniques, or mindfulness techniques are super helpful. So when it comes to emotions or mood, self-regulation, there are a lot of different apps and things out there that are helpful. If you're familiar with the zones of regulation, there are 2 apps here. One is Exploring Emotions and the other is Zones of Regulation. If that's something that works for you or your child. Mood Panda is, it's basically a mood diary. You go in and it asks you questions that you can fill out. It's available on iOS or Android and it's free. There's an online free mood tracker website that you can go to. I'm going to show you Molehill Mountain and Positive Penguins. Molehill Mountain is free and Positive Penguins is 99 cents. Again, if you're looking for more or other ones, feel free to make a lab appointment or email either Elizabeth or myself. So the first one I'm going to show you is called Molehill Mountain. And it was created by a group in Australia. And it was originally intended for people on the spectrum. But I find it helpful for even for myself and for all different, usually more like older kids. So there's 3 different sections that you can use. There's the check-in. And it just tells you, it asks you how anxious you've been. And there's a scale. And then you can enter your 3 main worries. You can change these around. You just have to hold them and you can edit them. I just put in some for example. So what did you do today? Of course, you can put in different things. We're going to say we went to school. And then there's different things. So what happened today? What do you think about that? How does that make you feel? And what did you do next? So it's just basically a diary that you can go in and you can choose to share your project with other people that have Molehill Mountain or not. You can turn that on or off. So then they can go into baseline and it'll go through and ask questions. You know, I spend a lot of the day feeling worried. Do you agree, mostly agree, disagree, that kind of stuff. You can go in and answer it. And there are examples. You can go through, I'm just going to put in, not even looking, but you can go through and answer. So they have a mood tracker, shows your worry count and your baseline check. You can go back to tools. Each time you log in, you unlock a new tool. And then Worry Mountain, I just want to show you really quick. So this is where you unlock your worries for 30 seconds. And they come up labeled as balloons. And they can either pop those balloons or just let the worries go. And after that 30 seconds, it'll lock those worries away, just a visual. And then you go on to the next thing. And then they do have built-in breathing exercise that you can do as well. The next one is called Positive Penguins. And it has quite a lot to it. So I'm just going to show you the basics in the interest of time. But I'll hold down. I better listen to directions here. So in the settings, you can turn on or off the Ask Me How I'm Feeling activity. You can set up email notifications so you can see what's going on. Turn on or off text to speech and turn on or off the sound. So these are the 4 choices. There's a game mode. I like this examples. So just so they can get an idea, or you can get an idea if you're helping them. These are just examples. There's one on feeling sad or frustrated and why. Go to
Choose your penguin.
how you're feeling. You can dress up your penguin.
How are you feeling? Angry, bored, calm, unsure, hurt, sad, embarrassed, happy, excited, frustrated, nervous. Let's understand why you feel embarrassed. What happened to make you feel like this?
Whoops.
What do you think is making you feel embarrassed?
So if you press on common thoughts, it can give you ideas, or you can type in your own. I just wanted to show you.
I am feeling embarrassed because the 4 positive penguins would like to help you. Positive penguin Evie is like a detective and she wants to know all the facts. There will be facts to support your thinking and facts that do not support your thinking. Have fun thinking up all the different facts and list them in the icebergs.
So there's 4 different activities that you can go through to process
Tell me the
feeling.
reasons you think.
And then you can type in whatever it is you want to work on. So it's quite extensive. Then there's a meditation, a penguin meditation.
Sit comfortably and relax in a nice, cozy position, just like a penguin. Close your eyes and take a long, slow, deep breath. Again, breathe in.
So you get the idea. I just wanted to show you the different things that are in there. So that's Positive Penguins. So that's a nice app for self-regulation and to help with your mood. Calming and mindfulness. There are so many great apps out there. I found out when COVID first started that if you're a Kaiser member, they will give you the mindfulness, the Calm app, for free. You just go through Kaiser, they give you a link and you can download it. So if not, there's a 7-day free trial and then there's a yearly fee, but it has so many great meditations and breathing exercises. Smiling Mind is another good one. It's free for iOS and Android. UCLA Mindful is a free app, and it again has mindfulness meditations, things like that. There's also a couple videos I wanted to share with you. I did put the hyperlink so that you can get to them, but this is one of my favorites. It's called Puffer Fish Breathing. And you don't need to be able to read. There's no language, so it could be done in any language. And as the puffer fish breathes in and gets larger, you breathe in. And then as he goes down, you breathe out, and that's it. When I'm stressed or starting to feel frustrated or agitated, I have this as a tab on my computer, and I do my pufferfish breathing. This is great for all ages, depending on who you're working with. And then the other one I have on there for you is square breathing. And the idea of square breathing is basically you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold for 4 seconds, you breathe out for 4 seconds, hold again, and then you keep doing that square. For sensory, there are so many great things out there. I'm going to skip halfway down to light tech first before I show you the apps. There are so many more apps and things for sensory. If this is your area that you need help with or your kiddos need help with, we do have a whole webinar on sensory AT because it's such a big area. It is available on our YouTube channel. And then we'll be offering it again the beginning of next year. But some people, that olfactory or things you can smell really helps. I have a tiny candle that I keep just next to my desk. That's calming for me. Great things like Smensels. I don't know if you're aware of them or you've seen them, but they're scented pencils made out of recycled materials, and you can get them in all different scents, and they're great just for that olfactory help. I have on here Study Buddy inhalers. Basically, they're oh, I can't think of the word all of a sudden. They're they have a scent, and basically you're to breathe in, and it's supposed to help you, make you more alert. There's also scented stickers, markers, erasers, all kinds of different cool things. This website I love, it's called Everything Smells. They have scratch and sniff stickers, all kinds of different great things. We have these really cool erasers from there that they're different soda or drink flavors. So they have like orange pop and cola and different things. And you take them out and you can squish them and play with them, but they're also erasers, but they smell good. Another thing I really love are calm strips. I don't know if you've seen these, but I don't know. Hopefully it'll take us to the website. These are really amazing. They come in all different shapes and designs, and now they come in different textures. But basically, let me see if I can find, oh, here, good, there's a video. You can put them on different things, and you can just rub your finger across or your thumb or whatever you want to do. You can carry them with you. You can put them on the student's desk, on their iPads. They have different ones. This one is the 4 square breathing, so they could trace along and do that. That infinity symbol. Anyway, they have all different shapes, different textures, different colors. You can put them on pendants, back your phone. They're just really amazing, and I find them helpful for both my daughter and I. Sorry. Crazy Aaron's Thinking Putty has long been a favorite at Task in our tech center. Different kinds of putty. I've put the link there that you can buy. Some of it is heat reactive. So as you play with it, it changes colors. They have scented ones. They have some that are fluffy and some that are different textures. They have some that have little things inside them, like where you have to find them and pull them out, like little, like they might have a spaceship one and it has little space shaped objects in there. And then any preferred item basically that somebody likes. I have these little, I don't know if you can see them. I have these little Squishmallows, but they're tiny, and I like the way they feel, so that it helps for calming. Also, adjusting your lighting is huge. We talk about this more in our AT for sensory, but fluorescent lighting sometimes is really sets off anxiety, migraines, things like that. Liquid timers, lava lamps, kaleidoscopes, anything for that visual, if you're a visual person. And then I have a couple apps listed here. Obviously, there are more. Tappy Healthcare Fidgeter is the one I'm going to show you. And this one, since it's my work iPad, I don't use it that much, but on my iPad and my iPhone, I use mine constantly. So Tappy was made for a phone originally, but you can use it on either. And you can go in and you can pick whatever color you like. And you can turn and change different things. You can turn on sound effects or turn them off. There's a dark mode or a light mode, depending on what you like. You can change your little fidget guy. Anyway, there's all kinds of cool things. But the first thing you do when you go on is you just tap your little happy guy until this says it's full of energy. I did it this morning, so he didn't need much. At the bottom, so we're on home. If I scroll down, I get a daily affirmation. You can change it. Mood tracker, you can drag it. I feel awful. Woohoo, I feel great. You can click new entry and put in why you feel that way. If I go to the relax tab, these are noises for different meditations. Choose my noise that I want. I can have the noise on. Oh, breathe in. Hold, breathe out. So I can have any sound going on behind that for my breathing. And there's lots of great noises. Fidgets. So with the fidgets, you can turn on haptic feedback, which means when you touch it, your phone or your iPad vibrates, and you can set that, the strength of that. You can also turn on and off sounds. So everything moves, you can play with everything. I'm just touching with my finger wherever I touch. Change the colors. So anyway, it just has a fidget spinner that you can upgrade to, or you have so many, and it can either be 3D, can be any color you want. Anyway, there's all kinds of really fun fidgets in here. So again, you can turn on that haptic vibration if you want to. Just lots of fidgets that feel good. And then they have an arcade that's built in if you want to play games. So that's Tappy. So just some other calm down strategies for kids or for anyone. Coloring or drawing is a great way to relax your mind. I have a ton of coloring apps, but also coloring books. You know, deep breaths, thinking happy thoughts, thinking about your pet, or if they're at home, picking them up and petting them for a few minutes. Positive self-talk, all of these things can be really important. Setting those timers and taking breaks. So we only have to do, let's just take a break. Let's take a 3-minute break, and you can do anything you want while we calm down. Okay, metacognition is basically thinking about how you think and how you learn. So the key is really asking yourself these self-reflective questions, and I have them on here. So what do I already know? How do I learn best? Am I visual? Am I auditory? Am I kinesthetic? Do I need hands-on? Do I need all of the above? What works and what doesn't for me? Where do I want to be? So accurately gauging if we'd mastered whatever it is. And then metacognition helps you to be a self-aware self-aware problem solver and take control of your learning. And if you want more on metacognition, there's a resource here that I found really super helpful. Okay, working memory. So I love this definition. Working memory is juggling information in our brains while completing a task. So I put this little infographic here. So you can support students' working memory by doing all of these things and more, which we'll get into in just a second. And I got, there's way more information on this, this blog here. But what do we have listed? Decreasing the memory load. So that's breaking tasks into smaller sections, reducing the amount of work maybe, providing information in multiple formats. Graphic organizers, we're going to show you a few of those, but there are so many. And then repeating and reviewing things. So I have graphic organizers on here, and we do talk more about this in our writing or our reading and writing webinar, but I want you to think about the use of graphic organizers, especially when it comes to executive function, because outlining or mind mapping, helping break down tasks can be really helpful. So I have 3 on here, but of course there are a ton. Kidspiration maps or inspiration maps. Kidspiration is for K through 2, I believe, and inspiration maps is 4th grade and up. There's a Chrome extension called MindMap that you can use, and then Poplet comes in iOS, Chromebook, or just a straight up web. You can just do it right on your computer. I'm going to show you inspiration maps because it's been around a long time. When you open inspiration maps, you can just start and create your own mind map or outline, or you can use their templates. So if I want a new diagram, I can just, or a new outline, I can just start there. But if I want to go through and look, there are a lot of templates built in. Try not to go too fast, get y'all seasick here. There's lots of templates built in. So in the interest of time, I'm going to go to an essay outline. I'm going to use that template. Now, it does give you instructions and tips. And what I like about this is up here, you can switch between the linear outline and the mind map, depending on how your thinking works. And everything that you add to one view will change in the other view. I hope that makes sense. You can go in and you can change so many things. You can add so many things depending on what you're doing. But here's a lab report, so it'll go through. But basically, you can just go in and type right on the template, fill things in, and as you fill them in, it'll carry it over to that thought bubble mode or vice versa. So you could also create a template, maybe if you wanted to help a student or your kiddo, and put in, okay, these are the things we need to cover. Let's think about this. So really helpful. There are a lot of things that you can add and change that may get some people distracted. You can add different pictures and things like that. And if you're somebody who gets stuck on that, this might not be the one for you, or you might want to stay in that outline mode. But I just wanted to give you an idea. So this is this could be really helpful helpful for someone with executive functioning issues. So note-taking apps, again, we talk more about this in our writing workshops, but I just wanted to put that in your toolbox. There are all kinds of different note-taking apps. Just press record is just a recording. You basically press a button, it records what you say. Then when you play it back, it transcribes. It doesn't translate, but it transcribes what you said verbally into text. So that could be helpful depending on what you're doing. Notability is another app. I'm going to show you that one, as well as Audio Note. Both Notability and Audio Note have text and audio recording and input capabilities. But I do also want to point out that iOS has a great built-in notes app, and I use it constantly. So I'm going to show you Notability. And Notability, when you open it, sorry, my iPad just fell over. When you open it, you can, there are templates that you can use if you want to, or you can just have a plain regular note. But you can go in, you can choose what size you want it to be, what layout you want it to be, and then you can choose. So I just have college rule paper, but if I wanted to, I could choose Cornell Notes. I can change the color depending on how I want that to look. There's different things. There are also, if you hit browse more, there are things that other people have created, and you can download those and use them and type right on them, which I think is really cool. So if you see something, a template or something that you like, you can just go on, download it, and use it. So let's go back to our college rule. So I can just take notes directly by typing. I can draw. I can add pictures. I can just, my keyboard would work. There we go. So I can type in, I can draw if I needed to do little illustrations. There are tools, there are highlighter, eraser, different things you can use depending on what you want to. You can hit the microphone up here and record what's going on. You can also use the microphone on your keyboard and do voice notes in there. You can also import photographs, images, anything that you want to do. There are tons and tons of, there we go. You can scan in documents, you can put in GIFs, you can put in like clips. You can go to your photo library. I'm sure mine is super exciting. So I'm going to add this in here. Oh, well, I'm deleting the whole thing. Whoops. So I took out that line, but you can add in things and then you can type over them. So lots of things you can do with the Notability with different note-taking apps. I just wanted to quickly show you, I did some notes in the Notes app, which is built into iOS. But again, you can do, you can scan a document right in. You can type, you can voice type, you can add pictures. There are different tools that you can use. They pop up here at the bottom. There's different highlighters, pens. My favorite is the ruler. I want my line to be straight. I put that ruler in there. Now my line is straight. You can do all different things. And again, voice text. So there's just different notes here. And when you start, it's just a blank state. So note-taking apps can be really helpful. So next we're going to talk about working memory. So working memory exercises, there are so many different things out there. So things that you might use on the daily, like Sudoku, crossword puzzles. I love word searches, word finds, things like that. Really helpful for working memory. I've listed a few apps. Of course, there are a ton out there. In a couple, I'm going to show you brain games. I'm going to show you the top one and the bottom one, actually, brain games and train your brain. But Identifor, we show in a couple other of our webinars. It is great. You can do it right on the website or download the app. And there are hundreds of games and you can choose them by what subject you want to work on: attention, working memory, social. They have different things. Lumosity is subscription, but it has really great brain training games that work on everything to do with memory. Marco Polo Recall is free. We use this in our, I think it's our auditory and visual webinar. It's great. It's like the old Simon game where you touch the different lights, but this gets increasingly harder. And there's some where you have to touch two at once and some where you have to find the sound in the dark. So it works on visual and auditory recall. And I'm going to show you brain games. Oh, I was playing. So in brain games, you can go in and you can choose numbers or letters, and you can go in and you can, if you're left-handed, you can flip the screen, which is really cool. I'm going to end this so you can see the beginning. So there are ads because it's free, but this is a word game, so I need to find 100 words. So I'm just going to go through and just start finding words. And if it's not a word, it will just tell you. And you can go through and sometimes find a lot longer words than you think you can, and you can just keep going and stop when you're done. There are 3 hints that you can use if you want those. And so these are the choices: 100 words, 200 words, or numbers. So the words were just where you find words, and numbers, you go through and you have to find numbers that add up to whatever the target are. So it's kind of fun too. And so it gets progressively harder, but this is a fun set of games that you can do just for a few minutes at a time, or you can keep going if you like. The next one, I want to get the whole thing because I always get it wrong. Train your brain memory. So they have a ton of apps. There's a free version, or if you want to pay the $1.99, you get the no ads version. It's available on iOS and Android. And so each day you can choose a game, but there's also a daily challenge that you can choose to play. So I'll just give you an idea of what some of the games are like. I'll go back to the beginning. Oh, it won't let me. So I have 2 things in my way. And then you have to remember where those things were. And try to get to the path without hitting those things. Mine is sideways, so. Whoops. So. They're all different games. There's kind of a Simon type game built in. There's, and they change. There's different ones every day. Let's see what the daily challenge is. Memorize the name. Mine's sideways, sorry. I memorize the name that corresponds to each face. So then I have to go through and remember who is who, which I totally wasn't paying attention. But you can go through, and then if you can't remember how to play, you can go from there. So just some ideas for working memory exercises and games. There are so many different ones out there. And again, if you're looking for something specific, please do contact us and we'll try to help you with your situation or person. I have some articles in here that I found helpful. There's one for adults with executive functioning disorder, just different things, one for kids, and then some different tools that I found. This executive function toolkit right here, if you go to hit this link from the Pathway to Success, which you've seen a lot of their infographics during this webinar, you can download a free executive functioning toolkit, and it's like a little book that goes through the different thing, and I think it's a great tool. If you need to contact us or would like to, please do contact Elizabeth or myself. Here is our contact information. Email is usually the best because we are working from home and we can access it quickly. And if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to ask you to fill out our webinar evaluation. Liz has put the link in the chat so that you can access it. If not, you can hold up your camera on your phone up to the QR code and it'll take you there. There will be questions that really don't apply to this webinar specifically. If you wouldn't mind marking NA on those questions, if they don't apply to this webinar, that would be helpful. And I'm going to have Liz stop recording and then we can take a few questions if you like.